because I think we have an issue. We have a abusive relationship with every other race. And you really don't understand how or why you have an abusive relationship with other races. And then you start looking at how other races really think about you and how they treat you. You know, I watched an interview recently, and it's not the first time I heard another race say this, especially the ones that look like us that say, you know, when they came to this country, y'all, the black people, they were lazy. But yeah, we'll add them into our numbers. We'll ingratiate them. And, you know, we'll let them live those rights. And then all of a sudden, this is what they think about you. Or we'll see the country give immigrants money to help them, to build them, to give them a sense of purpose, while you still fighting for what? Now, I know we recently seen the article of the crack pipes, and I'll entertain it because I think it's funny. If it is true and if it does go down, if it happens, who's at fault? Black people. Why? Because what did you expect? We voted for a guy that had not proven anything to us. We do that religiously. He got on TV and was bold enough and told us, you ain't black if you don't vote for him. But what black person has gotten up and bold enough and say, we want you impeached because we don't think you're living up to your promises? What has he done for student loans? What has he done to help anything dealing with our community? Well, it's not just him. It's actually, it speaks to a bigger picture. And I feel as though we as blacks, African Americans, Negroes, ninjas, whatever you want to call yourself, we have an issue with being this country's prostitute. People will get in bed with us, do all nasty stuff with us, and not claim us in the morning. That's a prostitute. They'll love you. They'll love you, tell you special, you're different from everybody else. They even buy you a dinner. But like a vampire, when that sun come up, they out the door. They ain't walking the streets with you. They ain't holding your hand. They ain't even got your picture on their Facebook page. Yes, black people, we're prostitutes. We're the side piece in a country that has been mistreating us. But who do you blame? I blame you. And I'm looking at myself. So I'm blaming me and you. So I'm blaming us. Because we continuously allow these people to infiltrate us. We continuously allow these people to give us false hopes, to tell us, oh, it's going to be different this time. Oh, you know what? I know this happened before, but I'm going to treat you different. No, you're not, because your trap pattern has not even proven to keep your word. And that's not just in politics. That goes all the way down to the local shopkeeper who does not look like you, and they think horrible things about you. We literally spend our money with people who don't like us. Recently, another famous rapper, oh, I went in this store and they profiled me. What was the story? It was Gucci. Has Gucci ever said that they wanted a Negro in their clothes? Oh, but you're still going to spend your money there because you, as a black man, have to prove your dominance in the black community by wearing Gucci. And Gucci's like, you stupid because I still don't like you, but I'll sell my clothes to you. I don't have to treat you with respect because me not treating you with respect actually makes you want to come to my store and spend money. Where they do that at? If I disrespect you, you will want to show me how much of a man you are that you will be willing to degrade yourself to prove something. Yes, Jim Jones, you're an idiot. Kill yourself. That's what's wrong with our community. We have idiots. You literally spend your money with people who don't want you. And then you get mad when they tell you we don't want you. What, you think they wasn't going to take your money? Where they do that at? Think about it like this. We wanted to sit in restaurants that didn't want to serve us. Not that we didn't have restaurants. We wanted to sit in restaurants that didn't want to serve us. You think those restaurants still want to serve you? No. You think these businesses still want you? No. Well, what's the problem? Who you proving something to? You're not proving nothing to me. You're not proving nothing to anybody. What you're showing is that you love abuse. So once again, we're in an abusive relationship. We are conditioned to be abused. We love the abuse. We love it when people degrade us. We love it when people talk down to us. No, we don't. Yes, we do. How? Okay. I even go with the lightest. We allow Miley Cyrus to hump every black rapper. We allow Miley Cyrus to be in every black video. And when Miley Cyrus got tired of us, what did she say? Rap music is disgusting and degrading. What did Paris Hilton say? What does Post Malone say? I don't even listen to rap music. Tekashi sent a whole bunch of black men to jail. I could go down the list of people who we allowed to come in and we hug them, we love them, we take pictures with them, we even protect them. And what do? Kick us to the curb. That's what you do to a prostitute. You drop her back off at the corner. Or you just leave the motel. I'm sorry. And we have to be real. Either we like being treated this way or we're stupid and ignorant and we want to be treated this way. Either way, it boils down to we accept the way we're treated. Nobody ever asked the question where those Haitian people came from that was under a bridge in Texas. Nobody ever asked that question. Haiti is not close to Texas like that. How did they appear there? But they're getting taken care of. See, this is a deeper issue than just the crack pipe situation. This is a deeper issue than the crime bill situation. This is an issue that goes way beyond what we really are thinking about. You know, we could sit here and pretend that this country hates us. And we could say, yeah, it does hate us. And I do know that this country hates us. But then we could look at ourselves and say, do we hate ourselves more? How many of us has fed the machine that we call the prison system? Not everybody who gets arrested is innocent. I think that's the lie that we tell in the black community. We like abuse. We sit up here and say the police are abusing us, but yet we committing crimes for the police to abuse us. That makes sense. We are complaining that the police are abusing us, but we're committing the crime so the police can abuse us. We complain about the prison system being modern day slavery, yet we're committing the crimes to put ourselves in the prisons to be slaves. You like abuse. You do. I'm sorry. Somewhere within our mental capacity, we woke up one morning and said, we just want to be treated like crap. And you know what's wrong? We're scared to admit that. So I'm admit it for you. Black people like to be treated bad. We honestly do. That's not true. That's not right. We're fighting for equality. No, you're not. How are you fighting for something? Because the true definition of fighting is actually fighting. Remember, this country won its independence not because it marched. I don't know where y'all get that from, but they told you how they won their independence. And I'm going to just leave it at that. They make sure to remind you, and they have a great celebration in July to let the world know what we did to another country to make sure we got our independence. What are you willing to do? Well, you know, in the NFL, they're treating black coaches wrong. Well, then why are we still going to the NFL? Why haven't we created our own league? We have a lot of millionaires and billionaires Why haven't they came together and say, instead of going to that league, why don't we create our own league? Well, that company won't hire us because we're black. Well, why haven't you created the same company? Why haven't you created a version of it so you can hire all the black people with dreads? Because you like the abuse. You don't want to create it. You want to complain that it's there, and then hopefully that they'll have you to come in, and then they'll treat you bad, and then you could be like, at least I fought for it. You fought to be treated bad. And that's what we're doing. It's a cycle. We are a rat on a rat Ferris wheel just going around. And every couple of months we get hopped up on Mountain Dew, and then we start talking about, oh, this equality, this, and we're not being treated fair. And then guess what happens? A couple of years go by, and then we hopped up on Mountain Dew again and go around this circle. And guess what happens? The economy gets booming again. We spend more money because we got to prove that we're on people level. We have to prove it. Why? Tory Lanez did the same thing. Oh, they don't want me. I'm going to spend $27,000 just to let them know I got money. You know what they did? They took your money and called you the monkey that you was and told you, thank you, come again. Because we're in an abusive relationship. And I'm going to tell you how much of an abusive relationship we're in. We have allowed them, other races, to convince us that because LeBron James is with Nike and Nike has, ties to China, that he's a bad person. Yet, the Olympic Games are in Beijing, which is in China. But more importantly, the United States government, who, by the way, funds the United States military, who, by the way, wear uniforms and get products from China. But y'all ain't arguing that. But they got you arguing against your man, LeBron James, the black man, when the United States government gets product. Matter of fact, we sat down, I ain't going to say where or when or who, and we said if China said we stop, do you know a lot of things in our military right now could not be made because it's coming from China, but y'all don't want to hear that. Hey, Jason Whitlock, why don't you talk about that instead of always talking about LeBron James? But he won't do that because we like abuse, even if it's self-inflicting. We have black people who look like us, who will degrade us, who will down us because they feel as though it makes them look good in front of their handlers. And you know what happens? Ask Jason Whitlock how many of his handlers has disowned him when he hasn't been useful. Ask Candace Owens how many of her handlers has disowned her. Ask Stacey Dash how many of her handlers disown her. Yeah, when they feel like they can't use you anymore, they will kick you to the side. Do you realize that they tricked us to thinking that if you're not fully black, you can't stand up for black rights? Ask Jim Brown how that went. Ask the murderer Ray Lewis, and I still call him a murderer because someone died, and he did pay restitution for that, despite what y'all think he is a murderer. But yet they want to go after a man by the name of Colin Kaepernick and say, oh, he's not really black enough, and this, that, third. Like, we're arguing who's black enough. Like, think about that for a moment. That's abuse. You're arguing who's black enough. But yet and still, 5, 6 years later, we're still having the same conversation with the NFL. Where's Jim Brown? Where's Ray Lewis and all these other so-called tough black men? Oh, yeah. Where y'all at? Why y'all ain't stepped up yet? Because you're in bed with the NFL. I have no issues with that. I have no issue with anybody protecting their money. And I tell people, you got to do what's right for your family. But don't criticize or get mad when people who are fed up stand up. How do we get past this? That's the question. The question is, how can we remove ourselves from this abuse? It's funny, in relationships, they say, Stockholm syndrome. You fall in love with the abuser. I think we're in love with the people who abuse us because we feel as though if we remove ourselves from them, we can't survive. And I really want y'all to think about this. Animals, having an animal, and I know people with animals don't like me to say this, but it is what it is. If you own a dog, cat, hamster, rat, that's a slave. You have removed them from their natural element and put them in an environment that make them solely dependent on you. That's slavery. Watch how people do animals, and then you'll understand what happened to us. Because when you release that animal who's been in captivity for a long time, as soon as they go back in the wild, they die. Because they don't know how to feed. They don't know how to gather. They don't know how to take care of themselves because they were solely dependent on you because you stripped them of their natural abilities. That's what happened to us, boys and girls. We were so stripped of our natural abilities to stand on our own 2 feet that we have become codependent on a country that does not like us. Hence why we are not building our own. Oh, but we got black businesses. We're still talking about black businesses. It's 2022. They should be businesses. I'm just going to keep it real. They should be businesses. It shouldn't be black businesses. It should be businesses because we should have so many businesses that they have infiltrated the whole structure of our economy that you just be like, well, we're just in a business. But no, we're still talking about black businesses because we don't really support each other. We say we do. Just like we really don't care about our history. That's why we still promote African American History Month. Because if you care about your history, you wouldn't promote this month. You'll let them have it so they can learn what they want to learn, but you will be doing what you want to do. Well, we don't do that. I'm going to tell you how I know. Because all your churches have an African American history program during this month. Your African American churches have an African American program this month. Not in July, not in August, but in February. So you're the liar. You're in an abusive relationship, and now you're a liar. And I'm sorry. And that's all the time I have today. And I'm sorry, this hurt me too. I cried before I came in here because it hurt me. And I'm going to cry after I leave. This stuff hurts because it's a mirror and I'm looking at myself like I'm part of the problem. And that's how we should be. We should look in the mirror and say we're part of the problem. So now we got to be part of the solution. I want to thank you to the 2xposu family, Daryl Rates, and all the other shows on 2xposu.com. Of course, you know, we're the best. Everybody has a flagship. It's us. And then if you don't believe me, think about it like this. Toyota has Lexus, Avalon, Camry, Corolla. We're the Lexus. Y'all be blessed. Congratulations to William Coleman, and we're out.